Well, if it isn't Kylie motherfucking Tobin.
It is.
Welcome to the 1111 Update Podcast. I'm Krista Kaiser, also known as the Vibe Curator, and as I said, I am with medium, intuitive, tarot reader, and hairdresser, Kylie motherfucking Tobin.
Hello.
Shalomi, homie. So, Kylie and I went to hair school together circa 2009? Question mark?
It's either 2008, 2009.
I know, I can never
One
remember.
of them.
Yeah. And I was always a fan of Kylie. Kylie made me giggle on the regular. We smoked a lot of sticks, we smoked a lot of weed, and we had a lot of giggles. So, she's always had fun hair. I've always had fun hair, except for now, and...
It's not that bad.
Thank you.
It's just, you have normal lady hair.
I know, it's just because it's so gray. I can't do all the fun stuff.
You should just let it happen. That's what I would do.
You know what? If I could go somewhere for 2 years and nobody would see me for 2 years and I could actually grow... I hate roots. I've always hated roots.
Why don't you just do
I did it.
super, super blonde?
I did it.
And let it just grow in.
Because my hair, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. Nobody can lift my hair that much. No, trust me, I did it. But anyways.
This isn't about hair.
No, but it is in a certain way.
Yes.
But Kylie is a medium, and I've gone to Kylie for several sessions, very healing sessions, with my own family members, ex-boyfriends, friends. Pretty much everybody I love is dead. I say it all the time, and Kylie gets to hang out with them.
A lot of deadies.
A lot of deadies.
That's what I call them. I call them dead because they're dead.
Yeah.
It's just more fun.
Yeah.
I think you have to find the humor in death.
I agree.
A lot of people will disagree with that. But you got to find some sort of humor in it because...
100%. When my dad was diagnosed with pre-leukemia, I was living in Kamloops, and I got the phone call, and it was just like sobbed, it wasn't looking good. Of course. And then I called a friend to come pick me up from work to take me home, and I come out, I'm sobbing, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I could not, you're gonna die. I could not get it out right, and this was very much in the Oprah voice thing. And I was like, "Guess whose father has leukemia?" And she's like, "Are you joking?" And I was like, "No." And I just started crying.
Listen, it's the dark humor, man. If the dark humor gets me by constantly.
Constantly.
People think I'm fucked up. They're like, something's wrong with you. But I'm like, but that was funny.
But it's not my humor.
Yeah, but...
There's a lot wrong with me, bitch, but it ain't my humor. My blood sugar, perhaps.
Blood sugar, not good. Humor, regular Jim Carrey.
10 out of 10. Love it. So, Kai, we were in hair school. You, didn't seem to me like a weirdo who talked to Deadies.
No.
And I want to know, when the hell did that all happen? When did that start?
You know what? That happened... I was still at... How old am I? I'm 35. It happened... I wasn't in my 30s yet. Maybe 28.
Oh.
That's when it fully came out. The spiritual awakening everybody talks about.
Yeah.
And by the way, if people say it was a great journey for them, they're fucking liars. It is not this fun fucking rainbows and bullshit.
Totally.
It was horrifying.
Yeah.
So I was crying constantly. And, like most of the world now is diagnosed with depression. I'm like, dude, is this depression?
Yeah.
But I was crying. I was fucking nuts.
Was it just you were feeling so much?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was overwhelming.
Right.
And I have my best friend, Amanda, she's a juju, and my other best friend, Miranda's a juju.
Oh.
I call them jujus, by the way. And it's so interesting, I'm backing up a bit, to looking back, seeing all the people that have that I'm super tight with, that's who they are. Anyway, sorry. So
go on with your bad self.
I got on this it was like a Facebook site, and I wanted a reading, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Something's happening. I didn't even think it was this until someone, and I'm very close with her now, her name's Jody, she lives in Australia, she posted a picture of her dad, and they're like, what do you get off this? And I started reading.
Yeah.
This says, I asked all these questions. She's like, yeah. And then I started to hear things. but I'm still in reality, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was a schizophrenic, like I was telling you.
Yeah.
I thought I was schizophrenic. I thought I had to go into the hospital. Called my mom, because she's a psych nurse, and I'm telling her, and she's actually the one that kind of leveled me out and was like, I don't think that's what's wrong. But
again, bitch, there's a lot wrong with you, but this ain't it.
This ain't it. No schizophrenia.
No.
She's like, I've been around a lot of schizophrenics. It's not you.
Sorry.
So, and then I got invited into the Lightworkers group by Jody, and there was a lot of practicing, and I've made long-time friends in there. Like, I have a friend named Donna. That's who I was in Alberta to see Donna for her birthday. And I saw Joy.
Yeah. And
that's when everything really, like, hit me like, holy fucking shit, I'm talking to dead people.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It's still interesting. Shit is calm now because I know what was going on. But looking back in my life, like, having those feelings, this has tried to come out numerous times.
Yeah.
Like, I think the universe was like, hey, you're ready. But being, a human, I'm like, mentally ill, right? But no, I wasn't. I mean a bit.
Again,
girl,
maybe,
a bit.
Yeah. So what were the other ways that you kind of think that it was like knocking at the door earlier?
I remember being a teenager, and it was those exact same feelings, like just bawling my eyes out. I was a wild teenager.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did wild things, and as most teenagers, I loved drugs.
Yeah.
And I remember laying on my bed after a day of hanging out and being bad. And I remember laying on my bed, and it's so vivid to me. And someone walked into my room, and they were home, but they were downstairs. I didn't know this man, and he, like, tilted his head like this, and he said, "You're gonna be okay." Ugh. And I remember looking at him, and I was like, "I am?" He's like, "Yeah, you'll be fine." And
do you have any idea who that man was?
Fuck no. Oh, he lives at my mom's house.
His spirit lives over there?
His spirit lives there. Sorry, yeah, I can't.
No,
I keep
it's all
forgetting.
Good.
His spirit lives there, and I'd actually heard him before. Another time before I knew what was happening. Like, my mom has, it's an old farmhouse, and there's a loft. And me and Jason at that time, Jason's my husband, by the way, we were just dating, and we weren't allowed to sleep in the same bed. So I slept on the loft. And I remember falling asleep, and I heard a man say, "Hello." And I freaked. Yeah. I remember calling my mom crying. Yeah. Like, I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, I think I heard a ghost. And I think it was that same guy. He's very comforting. He's fine. But yeah, I liked him.
Sorry, I just got lit up. I think he might be one of your guardians.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
He was probably like, listen, you fucking crazy bitch.
Girl, get it together.
Yeah, get your life together. I mean, now, what do I smoke cigarettes and drink water.
Do you know what?
Getting wild.
I think a lot of people, like, have you met Dorothy Turk in Hastings? She's a medium. She's incredible.
No.
She's an older lady. And, like, I find a lot of people who do this work don't smoke, like, much more than weed. They don't do anything much more than weed. They don't drink. I haven't drank in 3 years, not because I have an issue with it, because I don't care to. I'd rather eat my calories out of everything, but but it's so interesting how, like, a lot of people who do this work, they're not super social, they're not, like, it's really hard for me to go out into the world after being this tuned in and, like, starting my work from COVID, where, like, you're talking to maybe 5 people maximum in a day at a time, to, like, going out into the world and being like, sometimes I get sick, like, truly sick. I feel I'm an emotional sponge. So, like, if somebody beside me is, like, a toxic motherfucker, it's game over. Like, I will just have to poop and leave.
You're like, I'm done. And people are drawn to you.
Yeah.
Like me walking home after this, I know for a fact people are going to come up and talk to me for some fucking reason.
Lights on, baby.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, in the juju world, they'll say, well, make sure you ground. Well, I don't remember to do that half the time.
Yeah. You really have to, like, make it a fucking priority.
Yeah, like a top thing. And Costco's the worst for me. Like, I'm not a Costco person. I think it's a grocery shopping cult. Yeah. But they got a good deal on cream.
I love their chicken nuggets or their chicken fingers at the food.
Okay, maybe I'll try next
Yeah,
time.
please.
But like, I get anxious and angry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, there's too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear so many things.
So is that something, so, like, even as a hairdresser, right? Like, you have a lot of clients sit in your chair, and you all of a sudden hear, like, somebody in your ear be like, that bitch is stupid.
Yes. It's like Long Island Medium, right? And you can't... I wish I could say they always say that stuff. But it's
that's
like...
just my dad.
I know, that's your daddy, baby. He shit talk. You know that. I wish... Some of the things people have said to me. I remember one time... Well, not Deadies. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I need to... Deadies. I remember a girl started working there. She's a great girl. And I looked at her and I said, your dad told me you have a monkey on your back. And she looked at me and said, my dad's dead. And I said, I know. And she said, I don't anymore. And I heard she's lying. And I was like, he says you're lying. And she's like, get the fuck away from me. And, I mean, she wasn't lying. I think he was just talking shit to her. I hear him a lot because we work together.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's not like Hollywood sometimes, right? Like, I think people expect, somebody sits down, my name's Richard. Can you tell my mom that the dog that she bought me when I was a kid, I wish it was like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can't be like, and I've said to the Deadies, you can talk to me in a sentence, like, you don't have to be so fucking mystical. But they'll, like, I'll be cutting someone's hair and they'll be like, Mom.
I'm just imagining, like, being really, like, concentrated, like, on the angles, getting that texturizing in, and you just have somebody, like, in your ear being like, Mom.
Yeah,
like.
Mom. And I've had to, like, and sometimes they're persistent. Like, I can block it off pretty well because you can't, it's very hard to go up to people and be like, what's up? I'm talking
Got your Deadies.
Yeah, I'm talking to your dead mom. She has something to say. It is hard to do that. Yeah. I usually ask what their religion is first because I don't like to curb stomp what people's beliefs are.
Totally.
Like, never.
Ever.
So if they're open to it, I'll tell them.
If they invite it. And
they usually leave crying. Because, like, it's like a healing thing,
well,
right?
And it's so overwhelming.
Yeah, it's probably horrifying for them. It's like once you acknowledge them, they'll start talking more. They'll show pictures. It's a puzzle. Right? Like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah.
So how do you receive, like, when you say they kind of show you different stuff and you're putting the puzzle together, so you'll get audio cues from them.
I'll hear audio cues and then pictures.
Yeah, so when I've done readings with Kylie, I send her the photos of the people that I'm hoping to connect with, and sometimes they come in the second I send those photos. And sometimes, like Kylie said, they don't necessarily communicate the way we want them to communicate. Kylie has heard me read my dead dad to filth.
Yes. Didn't he stop talking that one time?
He was giving me fucking crumbs. And I was like, listen up, asshole. Yeah. I didn't fucking come here. I do this once a year. You want to make things better for me? Help me. Do the shit. Don't sit there and feel fucking sorry for your little dead self. Get off of your little dead ass and give me some advice. Yep.
And sometimes if they don't feel like saying anything, they won't.
No.
Like, I can feel them there, and it's like I see them in the third eye.
In your mind's eye.
And I'm like, mind's eye,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, man, they're right here. They're always on my left side, and then spirit guides are on the right. And you know what it's like with a reading with me. Like, all of a sudden, fucking everyone's yipping, and I'm like, let's just one at a fucking time.
My favorite thing that ever happened in a reading was when I was asking, like, do you hear their voices? And you're like, yeah. And then my grandpa goes, what do I sound like? And it sounded like it was brilliant. I think about that all the time.
It's fucking hilarious. Like, they are funny.
Yeah.
They are hilarious. And I think, people, it's hard for them to believe, right?
Especially, like, I keep using my family just because it's a great example, and they're dead. They can't say shit.
They're Deadies.
Yeah. So, like, my dad was 40 when I was born. So he was 65 when he passed away. Like, that's of a different generation altogether. My grandparents were born in 1922 and 1919. So, like Kylie says, a lot of them don't know what the fuck. No. Like, they would have never thought that this was even a thing.
Right.
Until they cross over.
I like and again, no offense to religious people, I love the religious religious people that were like, well, guess it was true.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like humble queens.
Yeah, they're like, sorry about that. I mean, I've also had also had assholes that are like, you're asshole daddies. That are like, you're a witch or something.
Oh,
like, you know, I'm like,
yeah.
No, they still talk.
Oh.
Because they want to talk to their loved one, but they got
gonna
no problem talking
you.
shit to me. Yeah. And whatever, I welcome it. I don't know why they like to talk to me. I had one, she liked me in the end, a Deadie. Mm-hmm. She didn't like me. Oh. Because I guess, and when I was giving the reading, I'm like, she's really standoffish with me. Like, she's told me she doesn't want to talk to me. And she's like, she was extremely religious. And this stuff scared her. Well, she came to talk.
Yeah. Then tell the bitch don't show up.
Yeah, just, I won't invite her back. Like, you know? But.
That's so funny. So, like, with all of this, what does your spirituality look like day to day?
Oh my God, what do you mean?
Like, how does, well, I guess, okay, let's go back. Let's pare it back. What does spirituality mean to you?
Oh, okay. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down. This reminds me of when the Jehovah's Witness came to my door, and I was like, listen, we're not going to agree. Anyway, I'm very...
How does that...
because that's what he asked me. Oh. He was like, and I was like, I don't think we're going to agree.
It's like, are you telling me I'm a Jehovah's Witness?
No, you're not a Jehovah. No offense to Jehovah's.
No,
you guys are great.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just very, like, all about the universe. Everything's one. Nature's a huge thing to me. Connection. And that's about it. I do, you know, like that witchy stuff.
Yeah,
I do dibble-dabble.
Yeah.
Like, I try. Not to harm anybody, but I'm like, let's see if I can get an extra $1 today. Yeah. And, you know, put cedar in your wallet. It's so hard for me to pinpoint, like, exactly. But it's the universe.
I think that's the beautiful thing about, you know, spirituality is, like, one person could write a fucking thesis on it, and the other person's like, it's a feeling. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's it.
Totally different things.
The best one, what is that? The infinity symbol? Yeah. That's it.
Oh, see, I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
as above, so below, internally connected.
Everything. Yeah. Because there are no coincidences in life. You know? It all comes back to something. I was actually just thinking about that today.
Yeah.
Because all the people that I'm interconnected with, yourself, we're all just a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
And think of, like, you know, out of all the people we went to hair school with, like, how many people you actually keep in touch with. And it's like, you know.
Nicole and Janet.
Oh, Janet. See, and Jana Watkins.
Yeah.
I still keep in touch with her. And she does.
Loved Jana.
She's an angel. She just actually popped by on the long weekend on her way back to home. So, like, and she does mindful haircuts and Ayurvedic Indian head massages. And,
see?
Like, it's so interesting how we all kind of, like, the thread, like, that invisible thread theory or string theory, and, like, the fact that we're all connected, and we did come into each other's lives at totally different times and went in totally different directions.
Yes, 100%. Like, you were traveling the world. You was wild, too.
Girl, I didn't say I'm not.
Listen, I still remember, do you remember my purple Grand Am?
Yeah.
I used to drive you downtown after school for some reason.
Oh, to where I lived, on George Street.
Yes, and just, like, listening to the craziest playlists, and you're like, what the fuck?
So true.
Biggie Smalls, and then, like...
That's what I'd listen to on the way to up the hill. I had to walk up Park Hill every single day to hair school. And I would be spitting Biggie, like, smoking a cig, walking up, like, the biggest fucking hill. But, like,
I'd like Biggie Smalls and Willie Nelson. Then we throw some, like, fucking Foo Fighters in.
Yeah.
Like, it was wild. Yeah.
It was a time. Yeah. It was a time. So, what does spirituality look like in your day-to-day? Like, when you're just, like, getting up, getting ready for work, does spirit come and be like, hey, bitch, what's up? Like...
Honestly, I just roll with every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if spirit has something to say to me, I'll hear it and I'll be like, noted. There's also, I don't know if you hear the ringing.
Constantly, am I right here?
Yeah. I'll hear the ringing. Now, I have different tones.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually talking about this with Joy because she has the ringing.
Yeah.
I'll hear it out of different ears, but there's a specific tone and it's not the good tone, that means something's going to happen.
Ooh, don't
Do you have that?
No, I don't know. Because my ringing will happen, like, say I'm thinking about something, and then, you know, I'll look, and then it'll kind of go out of my mind, and then I'll kind of touch back on it, and then the ringing comes in. So, I don't know, like, that one's more like, oh, okay, I take it
as a download.
As a sign, exactly, like something's coming. But, like, when you were saying about hearing somebody's voice when you were, like, going to bed in the loft, when I was with my ex in Grand Prairie, I was, like, going to bed. No, I woke up, I think, in the middle of the night and, like, went pee or whatever it was, came back to bed, rolled over, and was, like, just about asleep. And I hear this guy in my ear go, hey. And I was like, why the fuck did you wait until I was almost asleep to say something? And my ex is like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh my God, somebody just spoke in my ear. Like, it was...
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like, when we're sleeping, we are so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the other side, like, sees us slipping in, and they're like, oh, now's our chance. Like, you know, when people dream about their past loved ones, even if, like, let's say you had a dream, the dream you and I are sitting on a cottage dock, and you see your dad way off, that's him.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah.
When it's a weird dream, your subconscious is just popping in. But they're literally in our dreams because it's so easy to come to us.
Well, and that's the only way that I've really been able to connect with my grandfather myself. When I went to Australia after my grandpa passed, I had one of the most, like, I remember every single detail of that dream. And it was, like, because my grandfather was too far gone when I went to go have my, like, say my goodbye to him. He was only in the hospital for 12 hours.
Oh, shit.
And so that was, like, a goal, that's why I moved in with him, to keep him in his house until he passed away.
He's so handsome.
Sorry. No, okay. He is. My grandpa's the most handsome man in the world.
He reminds me, I'll remember what it is later. He reminds me of the guy.
Like a movie star? Yeah. Omar Sharif. Like, he reminded me, it was, like, from Funny Girl. But anyway, so my grandpa and I was, like, walking in Bridge North, like, from Chemung Public School where I went, up Ward Street, past the, like, Tim Hortons, and there was, like, a street dance happening. And so where the clinic is, there's a farm right beside it, and I used to live, like, on the other side of the farm at the end of the laneway, so I saw these people, and I saw my grandpa, like, floating like Mr. Burns in The Simpsons when he's, like, got those injections. Like, he didn't look that, like, wild, but it was, like, this, like, kind of image of somebody, like, a ghost going over, like, a cornfield. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going through the cornfield, and everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. So I end up, like, going back to my old house. I walk in the door, it turns into my grandpa's house. And so I sit down, my grandpa and I are, like, having just this, like, such an emotional conversation. Like, he's sobbing, saying, thank you so much for everything you did for me in my life. Like, thank you. And I'm, like, sobbing, be like, it was a privilege. Like, you don't even get it. You were everything to me. And, like, and then that was it. That was our last conversation. And, like you say, like, I truly believe that he visited me in that night. And that, like, even in readings with you, he never comes through for that long. He always just comes in and says, like, thank you, love you, baby, see you later.
He pops in pretty... He doesn't have much to say, but being that handsome, you don't have to say that much. But, no, he does. He just pops in. But I can guarantee you that was him. He was like, okay, I'm gone. I have to say goodbye to you.
Yeah. And that was, like, maybe a month and a half after he'd passed away. So it was, like, time. I was ready.
Yeah.
And I wasn't smoking weed, so I was, like, having the wildest dreams every single night. Yes. And then that one came through, and I was like, hey, no, that one's not a dream. Like, that one felt like astral projection or, like, astral traveling. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He came.
It's crazy.
It's wild being on this side of the juju. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like the watching side, but like the juju side.
Yes.
It's quite wild.
How do you protect yourself? Like you were saying, you were able to block it out. How do you do that?
Can I tell you? I don't even fucking know how I'm doing it.
It's just
I have
an
no
intention.
idea. I honestly think it is my spirit guides being like, Kylie's fucking busy right now.
Kylie needs a day off.
She needs to chill.
Yeah.
Because I was doing so much for so many people all the time, right? And they were just like, you guys, Deadies, shut the fuck up for a minute. You know, like... But I know, like, when I sit there, we just talked about not drinking. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll have a drinky poo too.
Yeah.
And actually, when you drink, you'll probably find this too. If you ever drink again, because we're vulnerable, They were like, hello. And, like, I remember spooking people at the bar. Like, just, because someone will be like, Kylie,
that's the only way you'll
people.
see me at a bar is if I'm talking to dead people.
Yeah, that is it. Like, people are like, Kylie, go, like,
oh my God, Teresa Caputo the shit out of everybody.
I feel so bad doing it.
I mean, I can't imagine it would be fun. Like, I've worked retail, like, managed retail at a spot in the mountains where I last lived, and this girl was trying on this sweater, and I was like, so you're a nurse? It wasn't even in the fucking conversation. And she's like, yeah. And like, traumatized, like, terrified.
Yeah. People
and
get horrified.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm an intuitive, and like, sometimes things slip through, and...
It just happens. Well, I had a guy sitting in my chair the other day. He was so fucking scared. He's like, I'm cutting his hair, and I'm like, have you seen Baby Reindeer? And he's like, that's literally what I was just thinking about. And I was like, I'm a little creepy sometimes. Yeah. Like, anyway, can we talk about it? Like, because I love that show. And I'm like, we need to discuss it. But we'd talk about it. He'd be like, how the hell did you know? I'm like, I'm weird.
Like, yeah.
I'm strange.
But you pull cards. Like, what other kind of modalities do you do?
I do pull cards. I haven't pulled cards in a while. But God, I have like 40 decks.
I know.
I haven't pulled cards in a while. I actually just got Gypsy.
The tarot, or like the...
This is Gypsy Witch deck. I tried to do it.
Is it the grid?
They showed me a grid.
Yeah.
To do, and...
I love it. Come over. We'll do it at my place. Because,
now, it has little sayings on the card. Like, very tiny ones. I think it's supposed to make it easier. It's not easier.
Is it the one where it's like one...
They look like playing cards.
Oh, no.
Oh.
So there's like this square. I think it's like called the Gypsy Tarot Fortune Teller's deck.
That's it.
And it's got 4 different, like, slices on the square.
No.
And so then...
It looks like playing cards.
Okay, no.
I even thought about bringing them today to be like, have you fucking used these before?
Bring them over when you come over.
Okay, yeah, because I can't seem to figure it out. Because it's like, if this one's beside this one, then it means this. I'm like,
I've never heard of that.
My brain cannot fucking do that.
That's why I never, ever thought I'd be a tarot reader, because I'm not a science bitch.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I still pull the book out with the tarot.
Absolutely.
But I get the feel from it.
I do my intuitive hits first, and then I go through, and then things will even come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you know me, I'm a fucking Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. I love pulling the death card on people. Because you know I said you're gonna die. And they go, what? I'm like, just joking. It's the best. I'm like, that's not what that card means.
So if you're a faint of heart, do not go to Kylie for a tarot reading.
Please don't. I don't even promote that I do tarot readings.
I wouldn't either if I was telling people they're going to die.
No, oh my God. The one girl was like, what do you mean? How? I'm like, I'm kidding. I was like, I think your relationship's ending.
You're like, you know what? Good news is you're not dying.
You're alive, baby.
Bad news is your relationship kaput.
Gonzi.
Bury that bitch.
I do a lot of readings and I just listen. Yeah. Like, I'll sit with people and I just listen. I do have pendulum. I fucking love pendulums.
Love the
pendulum. For myself.
Yes.
And I do have this really cool pendulum board. It's like a Ouija board. Ouija boards have a bad name.
Yeah, I'm not about it.
You know what? It's a Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
Don't let them scare you.
I did it, like, with a babysitter when I was, like, 8 years old. Yeah. And I just didn't like that it, like, people move it. You know what I mean?
That bitch was moving it.
Like, everybody moves it. Yes. But, like, with the pendulum.
Just swing it.
Love it.
Swing it. I make it spell out so much stuff.
Yeah.
When I had green hair at one point, and I don't know my one grandpa, and I remember I told my dad, can you give me questions to ask? Because I'm pretty sure Grandpa Couture, like, I hear him a lot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm talking to Grandpa Couture, and it was. And I remember saying, like, do you like my hair? And he's like, no. You know, and the pendulum is such a cool tool.
I think it's such a great thing to help develop intuition and stuff.
And Absolutely. You can have so many. I always go into the store, I'm like, are you for me? And hold it. It's like, no. In Alberta, there was one that said, yes, can I find it now? No, I guess it's not time for me to have it. I did have it at one point in the house. I like oracle cards because they're to the point.
Yeah.
You know, like, fucking just hurry up and tell me.
It's not a whole formula. It's like, here's the message.
And with tarot cards, I always do the 3 card.
Yeah.
Miranda, who I mentioned before, she's an amazing tarot card reader. She pretends she's not. She's a liar. She's amazing.
Yeah. Is that who you get your readings
Same with Amanda.
From?
No.
Where do you
do it myself.
Where did you get readings before?
Before? No one. You know who I get readings from a lot? Joy.
That's awesome.
I'll be like, Joy, I need help. And she'll be like, okay. And, like, me and Joy, like, bounce off each other. Donna's amazing past life. Me and Donna actually, kind of crazy. When she was getting into past life readings, I was very drawn to Donna. Like, I was like, I need Donna. I don't know what it is about her, but I need her. And she did one on herself about her and her sister were burned because their brother lied and said they were something. And I was like, that's really interesting because when I was younger, my mom says she doesn't remember this, but I very much do. I remember waking up crying, screaming because there was a ring of fire and I was being burned around my bed. Jesus. And I was like, Donna, I think that's us. Like, she's like, there's me and another girl.
Sisters from a past life.
There's me and another girl and we're being burned.
Wow.
Yeah. So, past life shit, man.
Like, yeah, y'all were witches in the past life.
Probably,
or
they just fucking said we were. Sounds like that guy was a dick.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like our brother was just an asshole.
Honestly.
But
you don't
YOLO.
claim him anymore.
No, I won't claim him. Fuck him. Dickhead.
That's hilarious. Do you look into astrology? Do you do any of that?
Somewhat.
Yeah. What's yours? Do you know your sun, moon, rising?
My sun is Aries.
Happy belated.
Thank you. My moon is Aquarius, and I lead by that fucking thing. And my rising is Leo. And, like, once I kind of read about it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Aries never makes sense to me.
No.
Yes, am I fiery? Absolutely. But do I get mad very easy? Not at all.
No.
Like, you gotta push me pretty hard for me to get mad. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, man.
I just don't fuck with you.
Look at this. Yeah, like, I just, like, you need to chill.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, I don't know, sit down or something. But I'm not, once I figured out the moon sign, yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, everyone needs to go check their moon sign.
And you can go on, like, so many, like, astro.com, and you can just plug in your date of birth, your place of birth, and time of birth.
There's a really cool one. It's literally moonreading.com.
Okay.
You can go in and do your, put it all in. They'll send you a video about yourself.
Oh, cool.
It's free. Just so, and now they probably owe me money for mentioning them.
Yeah, really.
I'll talk to them later.
Yeah.
But you get a moon reading every Sunday. Now, mine always seems to be, like, a little bit of a week behind, but it's on point.
That's so cool.
It is really cool.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
I love that.
It is so cool.
Do you kind of study any other modalities? Like, are you into, like, runes or anything?
I was trying to get into bone throwing.
Yeah.
That was, again, my brain. I have a book on it. I have so many books. I'm like, I'm going to get into that, but, you know, you just, like, squirrel out. I want to get into the bone throwing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But apparently you have to, like, collect your own, like, stuff. Listen, I'm a strange motherfucker. I got bones in my house. No, I'm just thinking of,
like, living in national parks where I used to, like, come across bones all the time. It would, like, skeeve me out. Like,
you could have brought me bones.
I could have brought you, well, actually, I think I would have been illegal, but, like, I would have worked it out. No, I'm, like, so fucking squeamish.
Are you?
About weird shit.
Okay.
I really am.
But you know what? Touche.
No,
most people
totally.
are.
No judgment at all.
No, most people are.
And, like, on Real Housewives of Atlanta, they go to Africa.
Okay.
And they go to a bone thrower.
Yeah.
And the one lady, Candy Burris, she's being told, your husband's with you. Like, your future husband's with you right now. Turned out, the guy who worked in production, Todd...
Oh,
she ended up...
See? Bone throws.
Bone throws.
Bone throws are so cool.
Totally.
I watch one lady, I don't know who the hell she is, on TikTok. So cool to watch it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it doesn't always have to be bones, right? Like, you can have little trinkets.
Yes, I've seen the, like, people who, like, scoop the trinkets and, like, read the charms or whatever.
Yeah. I like bones.
Yeah.
I'm very creepy in that aspect.
I always describe you as, like, a goth medium. Like, when people are like, you know, pardon me.
She's a creepy
like,
bitch.
No, like, Kylie's, like, my goth medium friend. Like, she's just, like, into cool shit.
Yeah. And I always laugh, too, because people, who describe me as goth, like, the way I dress. I'm like, dude, I'm wearing jeans. I'm fucking wearing hate jeans. Like, I think these are slippers, but I'm But they're like, you're very gothic. And I'm like, well, I like gothic things, absolutely.
Yeah, like your energy is
Oh, yeah, like I have... It's not for the... I'll tell you later. My husband, like, drew the line at some shit. Like, he's like, you have to stop.
I love that. So tell me more about your spiritual awakening.
So when I, again, opened up and had the spiritual awakening, and I was kind of figuring it out, I remember I also had these really weird dreams. Mm-hmm. So I had this dream, and all that was happening, there was a girl that was an apprentice at my work. Yeah. She was like, it was black everywhere. She was standing in like a spotlight, I guess. Oh. And she was wearing, Jesus. She had a flat top comb. You know what I'm talking
my God,
about?
the ones that like
the ones that help you
with
do
the
it.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, so she had the level, and I know for a fact that bitch can't do no fucking flat. Okay? She could
Especially
not.
as an apprentice.
Oh, baby. I won't even do it. Like, no. I've been doing this 14 years. They're like, can you do a flat top? I'm like, I'm not trying.
Absolutely the fuck
So, it was a weird dream. I remember waking up going, that was strange. And that day I went to work, and she had someone walk over to her chair, and I was in the, like, shampoo area. She goes, yeah, I can do a flat top. And I just went, what the fuck? She did it. I think I was too freaked out to even, like, totally pay attention. But whatever.
Totally. Parentheses, hairdresser shade, by the way. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then I had another dream, and I was in Walmart looking for a dress, which I know is strange. I was looking for a dress because my husband was graduating. Right. So I'm looking for a dress in this dream in Walmart, and I see this... No, I've got this story fucked up. The dream was I was in a bedroom going through laundry, and I saw a dress. I was actually in Walmart looking for a dress, and I remember flipping through, and I stopped, and there was that dress. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I like, you get freaked out to tell people. I remember telling Kathy at work, I think something's happening to me.
Like coming out of the spiritual closet. Mm-hmm.
And she was like, what? Like, but she actually helped me quite a bit, because she's like, no, Kylie, like, you're okay. There was a lot of dreams. There's still a lot of dreams. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember the stuff that happened then.
I was saying to Kylie earlier that I have a theory about hairdressers working, because Kylie and I went to hair school together. I worked in hair for a very long time. Even before hair school, I worked in hair for a long time. And I think that because we're working with the crown chakras, that's where we get our messages from God, from the universe, from our guides, from our angels, and that's where we send our messages, like, from. So some of the best hairdressers, you don't even need to tell them what you want, they just know. And I think I
think that's a great theory, and I've never even thought about that before.
Girl, you just never know what I'm going to think of.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant.
Because so many people that we did work with in hair or who have done hair are like a little witchy or a little intuitive or have these little gifts.
Dibble dabble.
Little dibble dabble.
That's what I call it.
So with the spiritual awakening, like, what do you wish you'd learned, or what do you wish you'd known before it started?
I wish I knew that's what was happening.
Right, that it was a spiritual awakening.
That it was a spiritual awakening, and that it wasn't, me going crazy. Yeah. Like, so many times.
It wasn't a breakdown, it was a breakthrough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now looking back, like, I'm like, shit, like, this happened probably 5 times. Mm-hmm. Like, and you think the craziest things. And, like, it's just your brain trying to make sense of, hey, guess what's opening? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I have such a tingle on the top of my head right now. But it's like your brain just telling you, like, you need to chill for one, but let's try to regulate your emotions here because shit's about to get real. Yeah. Right?
Was it hard? Did you find, especially, like, working in a salon with people and being one-on-one with people at work, with your clients, did you find that you would be, like, leaving feeling, like, a certain type of way and you couldn't reconcile those feelings?
Like, and it's like you couldn't shake it.
No.
And you're like, something's
fucking going on here.
Yeah, but then you kind of realize it's the energy, right? And the bad juju, and you got to, like, flick it off or ground yourself or cleanse yourself. But it was always very intense, because so many different energies coming about, right?
Well, and we, like, in this kind of 3D world, like, we use our 5 senses, sight, smell. But, like, most of what we do is sight. If we don't see it, we don't believe it.
Yeah.
You can hear it, you can touch it, you can feel it, but if you don't see it, how the fuck do you believe it?
No, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's hard for most people to believe. I love giving readings to people who, like, men are my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they'll, like, do it, and they're like, holy fucking shit, how did you know? And then they'll be like, I believe now. What is that? Imagine Dragons?
Yeah.
Make You a Believer always plays in my head. I'm like, yup. Like, hell yeah. Like,
that's your theme song.
It is. But I don't push it on people.
No. Like, when people, like, have wanted to do Reiki sessions or whatever, or, like, especially when I was learning, you have to offer so many complimentary before you can start charging for them. And I had one friend, she's like, you know, I'm a skeptical and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, I'm not trying to convince you of anything.
That's what I'm like.
All I ask is that you do, I said, you're one of the people who I'd like to do it on, because if you have a great experience, then, you know, I know it's not just bullshit. Because I was a little bit afraid that I got sold a magical beads.
Of course.
You know
well, you did Reiki on me, long distance Reiki, and I felt it.
Oh, yours, I remember just, like, rocking and getting, like, dizzy in the energy. Like, you have such strong energy.
I'm intense.
Yeah.
And how terrible is it? Like, after this, I'm gonna go, well, I have to do hair, but before my mom comes, I'm gonna sit on my couch. Just chill.
Ground, baby.
Well, I don't. Like, that's all I want to do.
But that can be, maybe that is your grounding.
Maybe it is just watching horror movies about murder.
Housewives is mine. Like, you know, we all have our things.
It's a thing.
It is a fucking thing.
It's interesting. And speaking about skeptics, one of the things I hate the most, it's like, hey, monkey dance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, I was actually, fuck off, because I was thinking about this question earlier when I was getting ready for this. I'm like, it was bad as a hairdresser when you would go to a party and someone would be like, oh my God, what should I do with my hair? And they have waist length, box dye, black hair that's been overlapped for 8 fucking years. They don't want to lose any length. You can't lift it. And they corner you for 2 hours in a party. And then somebody goes, oh, you're an intuitive?
Boom.
What are you getting from me?
Yeah. And then they'll be like, if you don't say this certain thing, I don't believe you. That's not how it fucking works.
And also, get fucked.
Yeah, leave me alone. I'm trying to drink my cranberry.
I'm trying to enjoy my juice.
Don't you see me? But people, like, I don't like the dance monkey thing.
No.
Like, I'm not into it. Please do not come and test me. I won't. I won't like that. And sometimes if you block, and I know this has happened with a lot of people, if you block off your reader, fucking, it's not going to happen.
No.
Like, it's not going to happen good.
Yeah.
Some people are hard to read, too, though.
Yeah.
But
it's so true.
Yeah, like some people. I also wonder, my theory with that is when, you know, they're hard to read, I wonder if we're being protected from them. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I never, ever thought of it in that way, but I can absolutely see that.
Like, we're being protected from them because who fucking knows?
Have you read somebody that you were like, I will never read you again?
Yeah.
Me too. I've only had one.
Yeah, I don't have too many, but there's people that I'm like, I never.
Yeah.
Never again.
And it was just like their shitty energy. Yeah.
And being intuitive, you know things about people.
This is my other thing I was going to ask you.
Come on.
Do you not die when people fucking lie to you?
I love it. I let them lie.
I love it, but I also simultaneously are like, you dumb fucking bitch. How do you not think that I know exactly that you're lying?
Oh, yeah. I'm so chill, though, but I just let them lie. I'm like, whatever. But now, like, people know, dude, she knows when you're lying.
Yeah.
I remember a girl calling in sick saying she was super sick, and I texted her, and I said, how's this person? She's like, how'd you know that? I'm like, I fucking know, bitch.
Yeah, I'm an intuitive, huh?
Yeah, I know everything.
Yeah.
I know things and I don't tell.
No, same. But it's, like, weird to me when people, like, when it's an unconsequential thing and they lie.
Yeah, it's like, why'd you fucking lie
Like, first of all, why'd you waste that lie on me of all people?
Yeah, like, I'm gonna know, but continue.
Totally.
I love it.
I simultaneously love it and want to fucking strangle them. I'm
No,
like, you
idiot. I think humans, I'm a human too, we're so interesting. Like, just the fucking shit people do. Like, it is so interesting.
Okay, speaking of interesting, what's the most profound thing that you've experienced either during a reading or in your spiritual journey?
This one, how did I know you were going to ask me this question? Because I've been thinking about this day all morning. My papa, love that man, he was in the hospital. And apparently he was going to get out.
Oh.
But that day I went to work. I remember waking up that morning and I called my mom and I said, what exactly are they saying about Papa in the hospital? Like, what is it? And they're like, he's doing good, yada, yada, yada. And then she's like, why? And I was like, I'm just wondering. I just have a feeling. And I remember talking to my Uncle Ron and he told me about it. And I went to work that day. And I remember standing there and they're like, are you okay? And I said, my papa's going to die today. And they were like, what? I'm like, Papa's going to die today.
Yeah.
And I finished the person's hair because I'm a fucking idiot. I should have went, but I loved her. And I was like, whatever happens here is going to happen. So I had called Jason and I said, I think Papa's going to die. And I think, I'm going to leave early. We'll rush up to see him. Because I was supposed to work till 5. I was going to go up and see him after. And we're driving there, and Jason's still, like, my husband, he's still like, you fucking creepy bitch. Like, he's like, I don't fucking know about this, but you're a creepy bitch. We're driving, and I felt this, it was like an energy drain from the top of my head to my legs. And he saw me, like, kind of freeze, and he was like, what? And I'm driving, and he's like, what? I'm like, Papa just died. And he's like, what? And then the phone rang. And they were calling to tell me, like, Papa didn't make it. Oh. And I was like, I fucking knew it. And I had to pull over. And we all went to the hospital. And I remember walking through the underground parking. And I'm sad. I am sad when people die. I do have an initial cry. But I know about the other side. But we're going through the underground parking. And my mom's like, you knew. She's like, how did you know that? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, I have no fucking idea.
Was this, like, more so at the beginning of you?
It was closer to the beginning. It might have been, like, a year in.
So you don't even know. Like, I don't ever have the verbiage for what I experience sometimes. So I'm sure that was probably one of those experiences.
Yeah, like, I had no idea what the fuck to say.
Like, it just washed over me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. And I think the universe knew I didn't love that. Yeah. I don't mind knowing. But please, why did I have to feel it? And I forgot to mention this part. When he died, I heard, Kai, I'm gone. And
I just got, like, a ring through my chest.
My papa was the fucking man.
Did he come to your hair school grad?
No.
No.
I'm not that special.
Oh, stop.
I wasn't. They went to everybody else's fucking wedding. Not mine. Thanks, Papa.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm joking. He'll fucking do something to me tonight, freak me out or something. He'll fuck with me tonight.
It's all good, Papa. It's all good.
Papa, I'm joking. But after that, like, a lot of weird shit would happen. I remember doing readings, and I hear music, too. Like, I'll be like, what the fuck does this even mean? And I was hearing CCR, have you ever seen The Rain?
Yeah.
And it was always the one part someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. And I'd hear it during a reading, and I'd be like, did he listen to CCR? Never listen, like, none of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I fucking hearing this? And a couple days later, my stepfather died at home. And I had seen 555, but I was hearing that constantly. So, the next day when I was driving home, there was a turtle crossing, so I had to go help the turtle. The turtle was a fucking asshole. I did find out it was a snapping turtle after. I don't know. I was trying to fucking help him. He was gonna get killed. So anyway, I had pulled over on Mount Pleasant Road and helped an asshole turtle, who by the way is safe, got him across the road.
Bless.
And when I turned the car on, that part of the song came on blasting.
Oh my god.
And I went, holy shit. Now I know. So now when that song plays, I'm like, oh shit,
He's
someone
around.
gonna die.
Yeah.
Someone gonna die, baby. Like
the Grim Reaper theme song.
It just like plays. They're like, yeah, shit's going down, Kylie. But music, I love when they play the music.
Yeah.
Or I have to like research the song, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And then look at the lyrics. Do you know that my dad, when I was able to have my last conversation with him, it was a Saturday after work. I went up to feed him because we opted not to do the feeding tube, long story. And so we had to be responsible to go up and feed him. So I was like, no worries. Everybody, like my uncle was here from Australia. Everybody just stay out at my mom's house and I'll just go and feed Dad tonight. And I was like, okay, Dad, like I'm here, you know, what wisdom, you know, like I'm trying to have like a fucking moment with my dad. And Kylie,
I'm sorry that I'm laughing because
you know my
dad.
Yeah. And I'm like 25 years old, like moved my whole life around to help to spend this time with my dad. And I'm like, okay, like, is there any words of wisdom or anything you want to impart on me? And he's like, don't let your kids grow up to be cowboys.
Come on.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's what you fucking give me?
That is a great song.
Okay, I'd never heard it.
Oh, okay. It's great.
I hated country music. Like, it was the whole thing. And I was like, is that not so evocative of every conversation you've ever witnessed?
Like I'm like, yeah, I
sounds like Bill.
Yeah, I get it. I mean.
But then I unpacked it with my therapist a few years later, and we, like, went through the words.
Did you go through the song?
Yeah, and then I was at Rolling Grape for my birthday. My friend Becky took me out there for my birthday, like, that same year, and that song, some guy was playing live, and it was like, all right.
You should probably pay attention to when that song comes around.
No, it hasn't been for a long time, but yeah, that one.
Say what's up, Dad.
Yeah.
You know.
Billy Boy.
Yeah, don't let your kids grow up. It's a sad song.
It is.
It's heart-rending. Great fucking tune, though.
But you don't, like, at the time, I'm like, you know, I thought it would be like, bitch, I love you.
Yeah, no, he's just like,
don't like.
Listen to it.
And my dad hated music. He was the one guy in the world who hated music. We used to, like, for Christmas.
Who the fuck hates me? Bill.
Bill, exactly. But we used to get him CDs we wanted for Christmas.
You're fucking hilarious.
Wrap them up. Because, like, all he listened to was, like, Fan 590, like, talk radio. And it's so weird because I've noticed as an adult that I listen to all podcasts and talk radio and audiobooks. You know,
there is some, stuff between you and your dad, but you're very much like your dad.
Yeah.
Like.
Kylie's giving me the eyes.
Like when I talk to your dad and then like you and I are talking, I'm like.
Same shit coming out of
each other's mouths. We can deny it if we want, but it's weird.
No. I am my father's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, through and through.
Fortunately and unfortunately.
Fortunately and unfortunately. I mean, you don't have the dickhead side.
I do.
No, but I mean,
But yeah, I don't have the alcoholic dickhead side.
That's what I didn't know what to say.
No,
I don't fucking know.
It's fine, he's dead.
Oh. No, I mean on the podcast.
I know.
It's fine, he's dead.
It's
Fuck
fine,
him.
he's dead. He can't sue me.
He might.
No.
Watch him go through away. Be like, watch this, bitch.
Like, please, bitch.
I'm joking.
I'm like, let's not manifest that. No, so there's this thing. So I'm studying emotion code right now.
Donna does that.
Okay.
You need to link up with Donna.
I will. It's the only Donna I want to link up with. My mom's name is Donna.
I
know. Like, for those who don't know. But with emotion code, it talks about how the emotions get trapped in your organs. And so anger is associated with the liver. Yep. And so if somebody drinks, then it would inflame the anger in the liver. And so, like, all of these things make sense now on the other side. Yes. But nonetheless, this isn't a fucking show about Bill.
Okay, but... Well, is it?
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, it's a Bill. We can do a Bill show.
Yeah, I love Bill. I heard a ringing, not the bad ringing, but I heard it. Yeah, hook up with Donna.
I will.
She's all that. They were showing me an emotion code chart, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, that's a lot of work.
But I want to do it on you too. It's exciting. What's the hardest lesson you've learned along this way?
You know what? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
how weird is that?
Said at the beginning that it's like fucking depths of hell. It's not like rainbows and sunshine.
Okay, yeah, that spiritual awakening is terrifying.
Yeah.
Once you get past it, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was probably it.
Ugh, and like just that physical, like
the physical, the crying, like the emotions you go through is crazy.
I went to an antique mall outside of town and, like, looked through a bunch of stuff, and I didn't get any bad feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I love secondhand stuff, but, like, it's always got to have a good vibe for me to want it.
Yeah, of course.
And so one of my friend's daughters bought a rose quartz palm stone from the same antique place. And then she brought it over, and I was like, oh, do you want me to Reiki charge it? And she's like, yeah. I was so sick, violently ill, because it was something that how many people had touched.
Exactly.
How many people had absorbed into this. And I was like, and this poor teenage girl is walking around with all of these energies, like, absorbing. And so I cleared it, I did it, and I was so sick. And Dorothy Turk did the same thing with me. She had me, like, because every time I go and have a reading with somebody, they're like, you could do what I do. I'm like, yes.
Pretty sure I said that.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I was like, no, like, I don't know how to talk to dead people. And she gave me this, like, 100-year-old doll and was like, who did this belong to? And I was telling her, like, all of this stuff, and she's like, yeah. And then we go to leave. My aunt was with me. We go to leave, and I'm like, pull over, and I threw up everywhere. So, like, I'm an emotional sponge.
Yes, you are.
And that is the hardest thing. If you don't know that you are an emotional sponge, I think that's the hardest thing. Because you feel like shit when you're around people who feel like shit all the time. You feel great around people who feel great. Like, I always say, like, listen to what your body is telling you.
And I would think that you'd have to, because imagine not having that control, like, before you knew, and just
Well, remember
being
my
fucked up.
shithead ex-boyfriend when I was in hair school?
Yes.
I used to throw up every single morning when we'd talk on the phone, every single morning. And it wasn't like every single thing coming out, but it was like, oh my God, like, I'm sick. You literally make me sick. You are an energy vampire, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you wouldn't know at the time, right? And then you have an awakening, and then you look back and go, oh, fuck, there it was.
That's
you
just
know,
it.
like, yeah.
That is just it.
Yeah, I could see that about you.
What?
Just like an emotional sponge.
Yeah, I'm a hermit. I'll go out and I'll be like, oh, this is fun, and then I'm like, I gotta go. This is fucking weird.
Yeah.
I gotta get the fuck out of
See,
here.
and for myself, like, I'm just like I'll be like, yo, this sucks, I'm leaving. But it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I do think it's because I'm so well protected.
Yeah.
But, like, I know when shit's going on in a room.
Yeah.
I remember spooking people. We were at a Christmas dinner for work. And I remember sitting there, I'm like, hey, you guys want to hear some juju? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, someone in here's got anxiety and they're going to freak out soon. She freaked out. She left. They're like, how'd you fucking know? I'm like,
Sprinkle. That's how I know.
I've learned to not say much, though. Like,
I find,
it's hard not to.
It's so hard not to.
It's hard. It's so hard.
Especially, like, do you have, like, coworkers or people who are like, oh my God, my boyfriend, or like, oh my God, my this, and you're like, bitch, you don't even, like, you just want to tell them every single thing that you're feeling, but you're like, if I do, your whole life is over.
Well, that's it. And a lot of people read too much into things. People do.
Yeah.
And they'll ask me, I'll be like, you're reading way too hard into it. Like,
okay.
Like, fucking live and let live. You being a little wild here.
Yeah.
Let's draw back.
I wish I was so much more chill.
I've only known you as chill, so I've never seen you angry.
Most people haven't. And, you know, I forgot, somebody said to me, they're like, I never want to see you angry. I'm like, why? Like, you've never seen me even mad. Like, why would that scare you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's probably because you're so calm. People say that to me, too. Like, I don't want to see you mad. It's very hard to push me. But when you push me...
Oh, I will fucking run up once. Well, you've seen me. With my dad.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
I've
like,
seen that.
Not in real life, not
in real. I was like, fucking, when did I see that? No, I've seen you get mad at your dad and talk some shit.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you mad.
No, not many people have.
No, I think us juju people are very chill.
It takes a lot to piss me off, and usually I just will go radio silent, and like, I have my closure, you can get fucked.
I need 5 minutes all the time. I'm like, if you give me 5, I can get over this real fucking quick.
Oh.
Like...
5 months for me, maybe.
Oh, is it really? No, I need 5. I'm very forgiving, like, to people and humans, and
yeah.
I see people, like, we all have this negative side and this really great side,
yeah.
And I just see them both. And now if I don't like someone and I'm steering clear, that means the juju bad. But that's what we're made up of.
Totally.
Right? Is like positive and negative. We've all got it.
It also, like, gives me a complex. Like, I think it would give me a complex, which it did. I was working with an astrologer. I was going to learn from her a while ago. And then she, like, called me one day and was like...
I just heard she was bad.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, continue.
And she called me, like, it was the Monday and say we were supposed to do it on the Tuesday. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to refund you. You know, I don't think we should do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, Mercury and retrograde shit. And I wanted to be like, bitch, we didn't get that far. You didn't even teach me about Mercury
everyone
retrograde.
got a fucking rip on Mercury retrograde? It's like, you can go outside, okay, during Mercury retrograde. Fucking murder someone just by retrograde. At this point in the world, I think you would get off.
I was watching, like, The Valley or some, like, reality show, and they're like, I think the moon's retrograde. Like, it was just, like, they're just, everything's retrograde when something is wrong.
Of course, that's what it is. You know what, though? Now we're going to talk about the moon. I fucking love the moon.
Tell me.
Like, I talk to the moon, yada, yada, yada. But you know how they say that it affects emotions?
Yeah.
The scientific view of this, okay? Because I will prove things. So what are we made up of? 70% water?
Yeah, 80, something like that.
It's some fucking weird shit. But blood's what? It doesn't matter. Don't let my brain
probably
get
like 12%?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bones?
But the moon, the moon affects water.
Yes.
Creates waves.
The tide
so that's
comes,
why it affects us. People can't seem to wrap their fucking head around that. Mm-hmm. Like...
I don't get that. Like, I don't get that people can't understand.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer who is ruled by the moon. So every single zodiac sign is ruled by a planet or...
What am I ruled by?
What are you, Aries? Yeah. Mars. So that's the fiery.
Ugh. But I'm not very fiery.
But you're rising. You're rising. Your rising is your chart ruler. So the planet that rules, and your Leo rising, which is Venus. And so your Venus, so pleasure, enjoyment, art, beauty, like that's what rules your world as opposed to...
Look at me right now.
Yeah, but that's your version of, like, you know, you love gothic beauty. You love, like, all of that kind of stuff. And so mine's Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. So being a hairdresser is very much in line with Venusian because it's all about beauty, making people feel good, beautifying.
Okay, now I got it.
Yeah. And also I wanted to point out that your spiritual awakening happened during your Saturn return.
What does that mean?
So Saturn return it happens like 28 to 20 every 29 years. And I think it's like 28.6 or 29.6 years. That's how long it takes the Saturn to rotate to the same position it was when you were born. And so that Saturn return is when a lot of people between 28 and 30, their lives completely change.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's when I moved back out to the mountains and had my entire spiritual awakening as well. So
fucking holy shit.
Yeah. So that's what I really love about doing this type of a podcast and like having all these conversations is like you can use so many different modalities together to just be like, oh, and it's crazy when all of the modalities say such similar
and they sync.
Yes. Yeah. Mine's all like being intuitive.
Yep.
Help people like they say fucking psychology. I'm like, bitch,
listen.
I do therapy. I joke that what I do is therapy.
I do therapy.
I do therapy.
Well, we are like counselors.
Well, therapists.
Yeah, therapists. We are like counselors.
100%.
I think a lot of the readings that you've had multiple by me, there's a therapy aspect.
I cry every time, always.
Yeah, and like we just talk about feelings and humans. I was told to be a therapist or a counselor. Therapist, that's too much school.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's so much healing to it and such help that, you know, a lot of people that don't get readings, they're kind of missing out because they're fucking paying a psychologist.
And I think two things can be true. You can get a lot from,
yes.
Because obviously I mean, I can talk a bit about complex therapy or post-traumatic or trauma and all of that kind of stuff, but, like, realistically, you bang the rooster. Stop it. I know. But I think, too, like, there's people who have come to me and had readings are like, this is life-changing. Like, this is literally life-changing. I can't go back to before. And that's the way I felt with your readings. Like,
well, and, you know, people will be like, you have no idea what you've done for me. Yeah. I have a client that came in. I love that guy. And he was always, like, tripped out. But anyway, he's still my client, and he came into me, and he said, I want you to know that when I was here last, the things you said to me, you changed my life. And I said, what did I say? I don't know about you, but do you remember the reading?
No, I kind of, like, I remember the
either.
feeling. I remember certain things, but, like, if somebody were to say verbatim, like, tell me what you said, I'd be like, fucking no.
Yeah, like, we have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
I have to get people to retell me.
I get people to record, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hear myself. I mean, fucking listen.
Welcome to this.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to send it to people and be like, fucking listen to this. I'm famous. I told my husband in the car, I'm like, I'm famous, drive me.
Kylie has a driver now.
I have in my own vehicle, though. Yeah. Like, there's dog hair everywhere.
That's how you know you're a rich girl from. Rich in life.
Oh.
Rich in life.
Yeah, in life.
How has your life changed?
You know what? You become more aware of things. I found that I became more chill. I understand myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
I understand why people are drawn to me. And, you know, I do readings. My page, I haven't really been on my page much because I'm doing whatever, but I have people messaging for readings.
Is there an email where people listening could get a hold of you if they want a reading with you?
It's on the Facebook page. Oh, actually, don't.
That's okay.
Yeah, the email is Kai Couture.
KYCOUTURE
89.
Yep.
At gmail.com.
And I will link that in the show notes.
Yes. Now, I did have one and it's spiritual AF.
Yeah.
One, but I never check it.
No, just do
so
your
who
own
knows
shit.
what's in it. I do have the Facebook page, Spiritual as Fuck with Kylie. But Facebook's weird.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
It's just strange. Like, it doesn't notify me when people message. I just apologize to somebody. They messaged me a year ago, and it just popped up.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
That's annoying.
Well, Facebook don't like me.
Mercury must be in retrograde.
Oh, my God, you're right. Some planet's fucking with us. That's what Mark's gonna say when I complain on Facebook.
That's so exactly. Mercury's in retrograde.
Mercury.
When did you go from knowing that you were a medium and like learning how to talk to other people to offering that to other people?
It was a fluke of what happened. Again, the universe forcing it.
Yeah.
We were in a Lightworker group, and there was a group of us, and we all went live to do readings. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know that fucking throws off to my whole Facebook group.
Right.
Or Facebook friends. No fucking idea.
Oh, God.
And everybody knew. You kind of stay in the closet a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because you never know. But no,
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
No. Oh, and I couldn't.
No.
And I remember a friend of mine named Laura, who's passed away now. She was like, I didn't know you did this. And I was like, how did you know that? And then she told me, I was like, oh, shit. And I did a reading for her. Everybody cries. Her grandma was awesome. Oh, she was sassy as fuck. She mad at everybody.
Like my grandma.
Oh, she mad as hell. Like, I was like, I don't know if you want to talk to her. And I'm like telling her, she goes, this is so true. How did, like, what the fuck? I'm like, listen, she's pissed. Like, I don't know what to say.
That's hilarious.
But I got Facebook outed. That's another Mercury problem. Like, you motherfucker. I got outed on Facebook. Wow. And then my friend Jody, I told her about it. And all of a sudden I was making a Facebook page.
Yeah.
But I MIA'd for a while. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
I MIA'd.
That's how I found out. I was like, oh, she's a medium?
Yeah.
Book, immediately.
Like, what the fuck?
I was like, done.
I do MIA a little bit sometimes.
Well, it happens.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Spiritual health is everything.
Well, and the universe and my guides are like, you're being a lazy bitch. Like
I love that you get nagged.
Man, listen, I've been talked shit to.
Yeah.
By dead people.
Fair enough.
I live in front of an old folks home.
Yeah.
Down there, wherever the fuck I live. And yes, there's people dying there all the time.
Constantly.
And he has to be from there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting outside by myself drinking. Mm-hmm. And I heard this man say to me, you'll never amount to anything. And again, I don't give a shit. I'm like, that's rude, sir. And he said, your mother. So he was saying yo mama to me. And I was like, what the fuck that's rude, man. You don't, she's an angel.
And also, is this 1989?
Yeah, like what are you,
your
Italian?
Mother.
Like, your mother.
Your madre.
Yeah, like, and he stuck around for a little bit. I don't know, he was mean.
I don't appreciate
that.
But,
well, it doesn't bother me.
No,
like, yeah, okay, bitch. Like,
yeah.
fuck off. Like, and it helps because I'm very drawn to old houses, right?
Yeah.
I live in a very old, creepy house. Mm-hmm. And I've been told to shh. He's fine. Like, he's just a little cranky. But I was humming, which I don't hum. Now I don't. Because you can't, because he'll tell you shut up.
That's hilarious.
And he told me to shh, and I was like, sorry about that. Like, sorry.
Like, first of all, sir, you're not even paying rent here.
Yeah, sir, do you know how much this place is right now? Yeah. But, yeah.
So how do you navigate, like, when you need those breaks, when you, like, are burnt out? How do you navigate the difficulties in your life now as to compared to before? I
think I've just learned to roll with it.
I mean, it sounds like you're fucking chill as hell.
Yeah, I'm so chill about it.
Yeah.
I roll with it. I've had negative people, like, negative deadies, negative spirits, negative, whatever you want to call it. Not a demon.
No.
That's another time.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. And I just roll with it because it's like an automatic block for me.
Yeah.
I do think it's because I'm so protected.
Yeah.
That they're like, just chill.
That's great. So you don't really like, well, and you kind of mentioned before, like, if something comes up, you and Donna have, like, a two-way street.
Me and Joy have a two-way street.
Joy
me and Donna do, too.
Yeah.
I'll ask Donna stuff. She'll ask me things. When things come up, I think I just ask them because I can hear them, right?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, like, I'll just be like, yo, why'd this fucking happen? You know, like, shit like that.
Well, that, I mean...
Or I'll ask the board.
True.
Because even as a medium, I want to fucking see it.
Yeah.
And it's fun to have people over for spooky night and they want to do the board and I'll be like, this is what it's going to say. And it spells it and they're like, what the fuck?
Here it is. Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's starting?
Just breathe.
Oh.
Just breathe through it. Honestly, it's going to be a fucking shit show. Mm-hmm. But just breathe through it. I think sometimes what happens with people when they have an awakening, they know that's happening, they're all the way in the spirit world.
Yeah.
Or spirit world, other side, whatever. You got to keep one foot out here. People don't tend to do that.
Yeah.
You have to keep 1 foot here, 1 foot here.
Yeah.
And you just got to find that balance.
That's a great...
a whole lot of woo-saw, though.
Yeah.
Just breathe through it.
Yeah.
And don't be scared. It's so hard to say that because it's fucking horrifying. But don't be afraid. Nothing bad's going to happen.
Well, you can ask for protection, too.
Ask for protection.
Yeah.
Nothing bad's going to happen. You can ask them to stop.
True.
Like you...
I've done that before where because I used to get the ringing at night so bad.
Yep.
I'd say, hey, assholes, listen up. I'm going to... Please leave me alone. I need to sleep, and I will give you disturbed time tomorrow where I'm going to pull cards and you can tell me anything you want me to know. Because this ain't working for me.
Well, they're nagging. Like, they're intense.
Yeah.
The universe, spirit guides, daddies, everybody, they don't give a fuck what time it is.
No. Well, they just see that you're in receiving mode.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And they'll push and push and push. I've been woken up, and it's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But beforehand, like, they'd wake you up, and it's like, man, please.
Give me a minute.
Just hang on. I don't even know where I am.
What resources do you recommend?
It all depends, because I dabble in so much.
Dabble.
What kind of
Whatever you recommend specifically for you.
Books are amazing.
Yeah.
There is a great book. Can I remember who the author was? No, it's called The Lightworker's Journey. Okay. The Lightworker's something.
Send me a photo after and I can link it in the show
that
notes.
One's great. If you're going for mediumship, I do have to find it. There's a great book on that. I read a lot of books. I'm one of the book people. I read a lot of books on what the fuck was going on. Meditations. Yeah. Just...
doing what
it was
you're called
books,
to.
man. Yeah. Like, we're here for a fucking reason. And that Lightworker's book, there's 2 in the series. It just tells you what you're supposed to be doing. Like, we are here to help everybody.
Yeah.
Like, there's
I
reasons
truly believe
for
that.
And it's very cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to find it.
That's okay. We'll we'll make a little PDF or something with the books that and the resources you recommend. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing.
You're welcome.
Is there anything you want to share? Any way that they can get a hold of you other than your email or anything you want to plug?
No. Shoot me an email.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook.
Kylie's amazing. It's Spiritual as Fact on Facebook. I'll put it in the show notes, but Kylie prefers emails.
Yes, and if I don't answer on the Facebook, find my name because
Mercury's in retrograde, everybody.
Mercury!
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Kylie.
Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Love you.
Love you too.
Toodles, poodles.